ZEPBOUND fatigue and 5 mistakes you may be making. Hi friends, I'm Elizabeth, Countess of Shopping. I have lost a whopping 90 pounds, I've gained a little bit of weight. I was on vacation, so maybe a little bit less than that. I haven't weighed recently, but I've been on GLP-1 medication for the last 17 full months. And on today's video, we're gonna go through and I'm gonna talk to you about 5 mistakes with that you may be making with ZEPBOUND fatigue, tirzepatide fatigue, or Mounjaro fatigue. And so I have been on Mounjaro because of the Mounjaro shortage to ZEPBOUND, because of the ZEPBOUND shortage, now on tirzepatide, and then back over to ZEPBOUND. And on today's video, I want to talk about mistakes you could be making that are contributing to your tiredness. Why are you so dang tired? Okay, let's go ahead and dive in. Number 1. Back 17 months ago, if you go back and like people binge watch my videos, I have over 300 plus GLP-1 videos of my journey. And going back, I was so tired in so many of my videos. Like literally in one of my videos, I was like propping myself up to try to like talk because I was so exhausted. It was with Mounjaro. It was before it was on Mounjaro's website that fatigue is actually a side effect. ZEPBOUND has it. Eli Lilly, the manufacturer of ZEPBOUND, tells us on the website it is a side effect. Like being tired, ZEPBOUND tiredness, the ZEPBOUND fatigue, totally normal. So that's mistake number 1 of thinking, why am I so tired? And if you're on a compound similar with semaglutide for WEGOVY or tirzepatide with Mounjaro and ZEPBOUND, it's normal. It's normal to be tired. It's normal. And so mistake number 1 is thinking, oh my gosh, why? It's normal. And for me, it has been very much normal in this process, particularly on shot day and then 24 to 48 hours after. So day 0, 1, 2, that whole 48-hour chunk, I am tired. I had my shot yesterday. You know what I am today? I was literally laying in my bed. I can't nap really, but I'll like rest and I'll just kind of sit there for 5 or 10 minutes and then get up and go. I have that luxury because I do work at home, and I realize some of you don't work from home, but if you do have that ability to kind of pause for 10, 15 minutes to help re-get that energy. Mistake number 2 that I would very much encourage you is having a blood pressure cuff. I will link down mine below because mine syncs into one app. It tracks all of my blood pressure measurements. And also syncs with my smart tape measure and my smart scale. So I have all of this data in one spot. So when I have those healthcare provider appointments, I have all my data all in one spot in the app in my phone. And so I'll link that down in the description link below. Just click that. You may need to click that more button twice. YouTube has changed a little bit where the links are. So click that more button twice and you can get that. Having that blood pressure. Now I'm not a healthcare provider and none of this is simply my experience, strength, and hope. But having that information on your blood pressure, so many people in my free group, there's thousands of people in my free group. I'll also link that free group down below, as is my free meal plan dietitian created. That blood pressure, that may be something that's going on with you that you should monitor. In general, like monitor, it's the blood pressure stuff, it's a silent killer, right? And so making sure we're monitoring that's super important in general, particularly if you have heart disease in your family. And for me, as I get healthier, the more I want to be healthful and mindful of my health and just putting on my big girl panties and realizing it's adulting 101 to take my blood pressure, but making sure, like if you're getting dizzy, like you need to talk to your healthcare provider about all these things, right? That's super, super, super important. Number 3, for me, taking it back. 17 full months ago, this woman here in the green shirt, 90 pounds or a little bit, with my weight gain from my vacation recently, a little bit less than that. But having electrolytes is something I bought when I first started my GLP-1 journey. And I ended up buying LMNT Electrolytes, the drink stick packages. These drink sticks are fantastic for Mounjaro side effects, ZEPBOUND side effects, but for me, not just the gastrointestinal ones, for fatigue, that ZEPBOUND fatigue makes a major, major difference for me. Now, it has sodium, magnesium, and potassium. It's gonna taste salty. That's totally normal. That's the point. And it has in there that potassium is gonna negate, if you're worried about like, too much sodium and things like that, the potassium is going to negate that. I typically put a full stick in with 40 ounces of water. I use a lot of water because I'm sipping on this throughout the day. My favorite flavor is the raspberry salt. But you can get 8 free sticks with any drink mix purchase. And that makes a big, big difference for me. And I strongly, strongly recommend, if you don't have electrolytes, these have no sugar added, no dyes, like they're not purple. I feel like that can't be good. And they're really, really easy for travel. I just got back from a 2-week vacation. Guess what I took with me? These. I also bought 6 cases. Yes, 6 cases of the sparkling electrolyte water. Super, super. I love the sparkling electrolyte water. Oh my gosh, it's so good. But you can get with any drink mix purchase these drink mix packages. With any of these, you can get 8 free sticks of the drink mix with them. I'm so excited about it. You can go to drinkelement.com/queen, QUEEN. Go ahead and snag those. These are absolutely amazing and been really, really helpful for my ZEPBOUND fatigue. And I've had them for now 17 months. So much so, the Duke, my 8-year-old son, he uses them because he used to get muscle cramps before soccer, and he's a very big athlete. So that's what his favorite is, watermelon. One of our family members has colon cancer. We give them, for the electrolytes that they're taking, is LMNT Electrolytes. Like immediately when I found out they needed electrolytes for colon cancer treatment, I bought them cases, and LMNT was so sweet. They sent my family cases too, which like made me cry. Anyways, I digress. Let's keep going. With our ZEPBOUND fatigue, number 4 is adjusting schedule. So I will pull up my phone on shot day, and typically before, because I'm type A, and maybe you're type A too. Maybe that's why we jive so much. But I pull up my phone and I look and see, okay, when's shot day? And then when is half-life doses? Half-life dose meaning that it has half-life dose. So typically on Monday, for example, if that's your shot day, look on your phone. Saturday and Sunday, you're gonna be feeling much better. Typically, I'll use my I statements. I am feeling much better. If you've just titrated up, keep that in mind too. Maybe you've never experienced ZEPBOUND fatigue, but now you're experiencing. That very much happened to me with other side effects. For example, ZEPBOUND nausea, never had it until ZEPBOUND 15 milligrams. I never had threw up on ZEPBOUND 15 milligrams. So just saying, like, just because you don't have one side effect doesn't mean you won't have one later on in higher doses, has been my experience. Adjusting my schedule, if the shot date's on Monday, knowing I'm gonna be really tired Monday night and Tuesday, and even into like Wednesday morning. So then I will make my work schedule, because I am type A, and I am a serial entrepreneur, and I'm a wife, and I'm a mother, and I volunteer, and all this stuff. I want to be at my maximum my maximum productivity. I will maximize on Saturday and Sunday then to have more work. And I can do that. And I understand that's a privilege. Some people don't have control of their work schedule like that. But if you do have this ability for your shot date and corresponding with your work or family commitments or community commitments or things that you know that are gonna take your energy, I want to encourage you to map your shot date around that. And knowing that that day 1, day 2, for me, 24 to 48 hours, I'm gonna be tired, and allow myself grace, kindness, and compassion, and the ability to rest. This shot, the GLP-1 medication, has given me the ability to rest, slow down, take care of my body, and nourish it truly with nourishing food and nourishing rest as well, because I cannot pour out if there's nothing left in me and I'm exhausted. And so getting adequate sleep with that too is super, super important. But tip number 4 is adjusting my schedule, knowing with the expectation of what is to come with that fatigue, I am going to experience it. And I've experienced it now for basically 17 months. Typically day 1 and day 2, I'm way less productive. I don't do as much. I told my husband today, hey, it was shot day yesterday night. I'm tired today. He wanted me to do all this stuff, and I'm like, I'm so sorry, I'm not gonna be able. And I should have, if I had been on my A game. We just got back from vacation. If I was really, really thinking, I would have told him 2 days ago, like the day before my shot, hey, just a friendly reminder, tomorrow's my shot day. And here I'm gonna be more tired 24 to 48 hours afterwards. Shot day's on Monday. Usually I'll tell my husband on Sunday to remind him. And then on Monday, I'll tell him again, hey, tonight I'm gonna be really tired probably, into Tuesday and probably into Wednesday morning. Please don't have high expectations of me. And then if I do really well, then I've like exceeded his expectations, you know? But adjusting my schedule and knowing when the half-life doses are, so if the shot's on Monday, Saturday and Sunday, I can really rock an extra work to make up for that less productive time. Number 5, recognizing with one of the mistakes that I had made was ZEPBOUND fatigue was not making lifestyle changes earlier. And here's what I did let me go back over to my before photo. This chickadee and the before, I did the best I could with what I had when I first started. Size 24, size 14 now, pants. And I tried to make lifestyle changes at the very beginning, but I definitely was not as aggressive as I am now with lifestyle changes. And so with that, giving extra grace, kindness, and compassion of I am literally changing my life. I have had chronic obesity management, and for our Mounjaro friends with type 2 diabetes, like this whole thing is a new lifestyle. And Eli Lilly does tell us we've got to make permanent lifestyle changes physically with physical activity and with our food and the way that we eat and consume. And so making those lifestyle changes, because for example, if I have high appetite suppression on shot day or right after shot day, I'm consuming less calories, that is literally less energy. And no wonder I'm tired. I'm not eating as much, right? And so that clocks, if I'm having typically, I'm throwing this out there, typically on a given day for me, this is just for me, and I don't need your judgment on it. I'll talk to my own dietitian, but for me, around the 1500-ish calorie range. A little bit more, a little bit less, but on average for a calorie deficit. You do you, don't judge me, stop judging. I know some of you are judging right now. Take the judge face down. No judging, no judging. So with that calorie reduction, on some days, on shot days, I may only eat, I don't know, 1,000 calories. I'm not gonna force myself to eat. And recognizing that because I'm not eating as much for that, and I'll make up it on the back end. You know what I mean? Like on Saturday and Sunday, for example, I'll eat a little bit more and it balances out. But I'm not eating as much. And so therefore, because I'm not eating as much, I'm not gonna have as much energy. And that's totally normal. I felt like this big whack job too of like, oh, I need to eat or force feeding. And that's for you do you, but for me, I'm not gonna force feed myself. And because I'm not gonna force feed myself, I have less energy as a result of that. And because I'm making healthier food choices, this is the counter to that though, because I'm making healthier food choices, right? That's one of my questions to you. That's this bonus tip number 6. Are you making healthy food choices? Are you making these permanent lifestyle changes? I can honestly say at the beginning, and even through pockets throughout my GLP-1 journey, I've still had garbage food, meaning like a bucket of chicken and some French fries. You see what I'm saying? Or like a big old pizza pie on like, because I'm on the highest dose, ZEPBOUND 15 milligrams, I have less appetite suppression than I did at the very beginning. I know some of you are watching this are like, I'm so full. Embrace it and love it. For me, that definitely was the case, and that changed. So just FYI, for me, that was my experience. And then like the switch has happened with ZEPBOUND 15 milligrams. And so that's my encouragement to you is, are you tired because what you're eating is not as nutrient dense as it could be and protein focused, right? And the protein focused per the GLP-1 dietitian is to make sure I'm counteracting and being counterintuitive to muscle mass loss. And muscle mass loss does not happen with just GLP-1 medication. It's not a ZEPBOUND thing. It's if you're losing weight in general, you can have muscle mass loss. So to combat that, eating a lot of protein. For me, 100 to 120 grams. And nutrient dense food with that too. But if I'm still eating a bucket of chicken and French fries or a big old pizza pie, when the moon hits your eye like a big old pizza pie, that is time for self-reflection and why am I having those old habits, right? And that's been a lot of this, of going through this of like, why am I still doing that? That's no longer serving me. Those are old habits. I get to bless and release those away and make new lifestyle changes that are permanent lifestyle changes. This has been a long process for me of like, okay, go do, and then reflect on, and go do, and go reflect on. But because of the gift of a GLP-1 medication, because of the gift of Mounjaro and ZEPBOUND and tirzepatide weight loss, it gives me that pause on day 1 and day 2, even with the fatigue, to just, it's like a forced sabbatical. One of my amazing besties was like, it's kind of like they forced you to slow down. And I'm like, I wouldn't have slowed down otherwise. And because I get really tired, I'm going to allow that. I had it so much so that for some church activities that I was doing, like it was impeding with my ability to go to church, like going to church stuff and things like that. And that eventually went away. But typically when I titrate up, so if you just titrated up and you're experiencing this, for me, it took a couple weeks and then I was back to feeling better. But maybe for you, it's a couple of weeks of where you're like, man, I'm really tired. I've just titrated up. No wonder I'm really tired, right? That's totally, totally normal for me. And I'll use my I statements. Again, I'm not a healthcare provider. Always talk to your own healthcare provider. But for me, it's been that way of like, gosh, I'm really fatigued. and taking naps, going to bed on time, having blackout shades, not having, putting on blue light blockers before I go to bed, not consuming a lot of like violent content or content that can keep me awake at night or stressful things or working late at night. I've really tried to be cognizant of that too. And that goes along, and that's in that bucket of lifestyle changes as well. I have to, and you do too. Like if you're taking these medications, particularly if you're paying out of pocket, if you're self-pay, honey, that's where I'm like, my insurance is not covering this because I am self-pay. I'm like, I am paying so much for this medication. I am going to make sure that I'm maximizing it as best as I can. And at the end of the day, allowing that grace, kindness, and compassion. Weight loss is a stressor on the body. And for me, I was like, oh, of course, as Jim Rohn says, of course I'm going to be tired. Of course I'm going to have ZEPBOUND fatigue. Getting some good sheets. I'll put my Amazon link down below for some really nice bed sheets, making your bed seem super, super comfy, cozy. If your bedroom is a junk zone like mine used to be, I used to have so much clutter in our bedroom. I've continuing to evolve of clearing that out massively. I still have a little bit more to go, but making my bedroom a amazing, relaxing place where I feel comfortable enough to sleep. And realizing that with, you know, being 100 pounds overweight on this 100-pound weight loss journey, that there's a lot of unhealthy habits. I didn't get 100 pounds overweight without having unhealthy habits that I've had to unwind and look at and analyze and try new things and fail with some of those, but get really good at some other ones. And so just recognizing that this for me is a process and that I'm still on a journey with it. It's not a sprint, it's a marathon. I will probably be on GLP-1 medication for the rest of my life. And that this fatigue thing still continues to go. And so that's where it's a lot better than it was when I first started, but I still have it today. I'm not as productive as I really wanted to be today. And reconciling with that, of like, okay, I should have set better expectations with my family and people around me, and even for work stuff. I'm just not going to get some of this stuff done. It's not okay for me to bail on stuff, but it is okay for me to rest. But I do need to recognize now that I know that pattern, okay, I have that pattern, I can track that on my phone, and then I can fix my schedule to be communicative of that. So sweet friends, I want to make sure I am obsessed with LMNT Electrolytes. I very much appreciate them. Please go to drinklmnt.com/queen. Get your 8 free sticks of the drink mix purchase. It's 8 free sticks with any drink mix purchase. Go to drinklmnt.com/queen, or you can go to click that more button. If you click here, the more button, and then you may have to click it twice, and then you can go to the direct hyperlink too, either or. You get those. I'm obsessed. I love them so much. Oh my God. It's made such a big difference in my Mounjaro side effects, ZEPBOUND side effects, and tirzepatide side effects. Sweet friends, your accountability question, what are you doing today to move you closer to your goal? And today's emoji is going to be Superman, or one of those like superhero ones. If you are not near an emoji, you can just type out Superman or Superwoman or superhero. That tells me that you've made it this far in the video. If you've made it this far in the video, I want to get to know you better because I do care. And 2, I will pray over you. It's an easy way to do that. If you don't believe in prayer, I'll uplift you in positive thought, but it's my way of connecting and knowing people. If you've made it this far, you probably like the content. So I want to get to know you. And make sure you join my free group down below. And also go ahead and get my free meal plan. This is dietitian created. I didn't create this. It was I paid $500 for it. I own the licensing rights to it, and a dietitian created it to help you figure out, okay, what do I do within a week? What does that look like for me? And it has even 17 protein recipes included in there. Totally free. Totally free. I bought it for $500. Take it for free. My husband thought I was nuts, and I was like, yeah, I want to give it away for free. I want to give this for free. So that is also down in the description link below. Sweet friends, be kind to yourself, be kind to others. I'm Countess of Shopping. Count my blessings because life is delicious. We'll see you next time, friends. Have a great day. Bye, guys.